Hi, and welcome to another edition of Fun Fact Friday. Today, just a little fun fact we're going to go over for the next 5 to 10 minutes is on the newest jobs report that just came out and how you can relate that to persuasion and branding and taking the message of the jobs report that just came out of the current administration and showing how you could actually use it as a persuasion and branding tool for yourself. So take some notes on this, kind of look at it and say how could it benefit me in general. And so again, hi, my name is Nick Carbonaro, Professor Nick Carbonaro here at Long Beach City College. You could find me at NJ Carbonaro on Twitter. You could find me at nickcarbonaro.com, or you could email me at nkarbonaro@lbcc.edu. And so, yeah, like I said, today we're going to go over some jobs report numbers for the students to show you what sector it's growing in and everything like that. And so let's get started. Let's get started with this. So a couple days ago, the ADP Research Center partners with Dow Jones, and they came out with the job estimate numbers. Now today, the Bureau of Labor and Statistics came out with a same or similar number, a little bit lower estimate. It came out to be like 235 instead of the 298 that this research group estimated. But that's one of the reasons why we're going to be talking about persuasion and branding, because I'm not using the government statistics because before the election, after the election, the current administration would say the numbers, are fake and everything like that, but now they're good. So we're actually going to talk about that and how persuasion can actually help you. So I'm using outside statistics as well to prove the point and to show you as the students the current job market that's out there. So if you look at it, total private payrolls, up 298,000. It was estimated to be 188. So this is based off of their estimates. They estimated their research to be 188. Today it came in at, or a couple days ago, it came in at 298. And then the actual Bureau of Labor Statistics showed it at 235. Again, it's a lower number, but it still proves the point because the trend was upwards. It was a bigger job growth than expected. A couple other things that I wanted to show you going into that was the Consumer Confidence Index. So you could see here CNBC partnered with showed the conference board, which showed consumer index of in the United States, meaning how optimistic, how confident are people that the economy is going to be coming back. And so you could see around April of 2016, it started dipping. It took a little dip from the Consumer Confidence Index. And remember, politics-wise, April was around the time that the primaries were going on. So that kind of makes sense. People don't know who's going to be nominated. They don't know who's going to be president. And so it dipped a little bit. Uncertainty always affects the market. Once you see around April and May, it just skyrocketed back up. It got back up to its normal numbers from February and March because of the fact that we had our candidates selected. We knew who the people were that were going to be running for president. And then it just skyrocketed. And you could see right after the election, the numbers exponentially went higher. I mean, it just grew. It just grew a lot. And then in February, we're at the highest number since 2001. And so Bloomberg Business tweeted out, U.S. consumer confidence rises to highest since July of 2001. And so July of 2001, right before 9/11 happened, if you don't know, there was the economy was really going good. We just recovered from the dot-com bubble, and now we are starting to get out of that. And so the consumer confidence is really high right now. It's the highest since 2001. And so you look at these things, and maybe you're sitting back saying, nothing's really changed, right? Nothing really changed. We had an election wouldn't happen. Politicians make their campaign promises and whatever. But here is where persuasion, here is where branding, here is where delivering a message solidly and knowing your target market can have a great impact on society in general. So people will say, marketing is just one thing. It is, but selling your product, selling yourself, selling whatever it is, whatever you're going into, whether you're a student trying to get a job, whether you're trying to get some new friends, trying to join an organization, a fraternity, a sorority, you have to persuade. You have to have some type of persuasion. And ultimately, you have to deliver. You have to deliver on that persuasion. So I'm going to go over a couple things because it may get a little political. I'm not going to lie, but that's the nature of our life. So we have politics and we have business, and they kind of merge together. And so I want to show you the reason why a lot of the times you're seeing the consumer confidence hit. We're seeing these job numbers where maybe 5 months ago we were saying, oh, these Bureau of Labor Statistics, they don't know what they're talking about. But now all of a sudden it's okay. Well, it's all about persuasion. And so let me start off. This was during back in the presidential election, and former President Barack Obama was out there campaigning for nominee Hillary Clinton, and under a PBS NewsHour town hall, and he had a question regarding bringing jobs back to Indiana specifically with Carrier. Now, if you followed, well, we'll talk about it after the video. Let's play the video, and then I'll show you about how persuasion and branding can backfire. It may not be as good. And then at the very end of this, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks from a really good persuader, Scott Adams. He writes the books. He writes the comic strip Dilbert, but he's a master persuader. He's written books on persuasion. He's done a lot of things with persuasion. I'm going to link up to all his websites, and probably at the very end of this, put a channel so you could find him on YouTube. I think he's on Periscope, but we'll find that out. But let's play this video real quick so that you could see what happens and how it relates to persuasion.
As you may have noticed following this election, Donald Trump came to Indiana and talked a lot about what happened with the Carrier Corporation and shipping their jobs out of state. Here's someone who worked for Carrier, and he has a question for you.
How you doing, Mr. President?
How are you?
My name is Eric Cottenham, and I'm representing the Steelworkers Union, Local 1999, and I'm trying to find out what do we have left for as all of our jobs are leaving Indianapolis, right? And I see here you're doing a lot of things, but in Indianapolis, there's nothing there for us. I mean, what's next? I mean, what can we look forward to in the future as far as jobs, employment, whatever, because all of our jobs is left or in the process of leaving, sir.
And when some
So let's stop it right there. So basically, what the person is asking is my livelihood. The gentleman right there is saying, I work for a union, the Steelworkers Union. We've seen our factories go away. We've seen no jobs here, policy regulations, whatever it may be. We see that we don't have anything for us, and so he's asking the then president at the time. He's saying, what can you promise me for this type of thing? What can you say to me to help me out? I mean, he probably has family, he probably has kids, livelihood, has to pay for kids' dental, kids' college, whatever it is. What can you help me with, right? So remember, it's a very emotional plea. He's asking emotion-wise, right? This is where it comes in with persuasion. And let's see if the former president actually persuaded it the right way.
somebody says, like the person you just mentioned, who I'm not going to advertise for, that he's going to bring all these jobs back. Well, how exactly are you going to do that? What are you going to do? There's no answer to it. He just says, well, I'm going to negotiate a better deal. Well, how exactly are you going to negotiate that? What magic wand do you have? And usually the answer is he doesn't have an answer.
And so let's look at that. Let's look at that for a second. So, gentleman asks, can I get a job? Where can we get jobs? How are you going to help us out? And the response was, the other guy that's actually promising you something, the other guy that's actually saying, hey, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it with a nice quick slogan, "Make America Great Again." We're gonna create jobs for you, and I'm just gonna pick up the phone because that's my brand. I'm Trump International, right? That's his brand. We're just gonna pick up the phone and we're gonna do it. And he answers them. Former president comes back and says, well, you can't just pick up the phone. You can't just do it. What are you talking about? And so this is one of the things with personal branding, personal persuasion, have confidence in yourself. right? People do not like to see negativity. They do not want to hear that you can't do that. Yes, in the circumstances, it's a political campaign, and he has to go against on the offense against the other side. That's perfectly normal politicking. On the other hand, somebody's asking you a question regarding their livelihood, their jobs, their everything like that. You better come back with an answer, and you better come back with not just, oh well, they can't do it. Well, he's saying he can do it. So what can you offer me? And so with persuasion, with branding, it's about confidence. When you go out for a job interview, it's about confidence. It's showing the people there that you have the motivation, the work ethic, the dedication to get it done. It's all about that. It's all about how people perceive you. Because as Scott Adams says, and we're going to list these in a couple minutes, there's 6 key things to persuasion, and if you can master these 6 key things, you'll probably win arguments. You'll probably win spots on teams or whatever you're looking for. You'll probably get the thing that you most desire. And so when you're going through this type of thing, don't come out and say, well, I can't do it, but if I can't do it, then the other person can't do it. That's not a good job interview tactic. Think about if you went on a job interview and somebody asked you, hey, can you do this certain type of skill? Can you do Microsoft Excel? Can you do tables? Can you do pivot charts? Can you do salesmanship? Can you sell a product? Here, sell us this product. Well, they may be promising you that, but what are we going to do? Just pick up a computer and start typing away? Well, if one person's saying yes, they're probably going to get hired, right? So these are some key tips and tricks with persuasion that Scott Adams says. And like I said, I'm going to link everything on the chart in the about section of this video. We go right here and we can see it. It says Tips on Branding and Persuasion by Scott Adams, and that's his Twitter account at Scott Adams Says. And the first thing that you can see is understand that people are mostly irrational, right? People are mostly irrational, meaning this: they want to hear what they want to hear. There's that exercise of playing the game telephone when you're in elementary school, and somebody whispers in your ear, and then you're supposed to pass it along. And by the end of it, something completely different came out of it from what the original person said after it snakes through about 30 people whispering in each other's ears. It's all about communication. It's all about rationality. Understand that people are mostly irrational. So whether you go on a job interview, whether you're trying to do a presentation in class, people are mostly irrational. They're not logically sitting there going the logical steps in understanding what you're doing. They're going off of feeling. They're going off of instinct. They're going off of emotion. If that wasn't true, if people were not irrational, and if people were rational, tabloid magazines wouldn't sell. When you decide to start checking out at a grocery store, those impulse buys, those wouldn't sell. We would look at that and go, well, that's not rational. Why would I load myself up with a 500-calorie chocolate bar just because it's sitting right in front of me? Because we're irrational. We're irrational people. We do that. Number 2, appeal to emotions. So when somebody's, when you go out on a job interview, when you're trying to persuade somebody, when you're doing presentations, appeal on emotions. People love emotions. Tug on the heartstrings. If you can make somebody cry in an interview, you've probably got that job. Why? Because you've appealed to that person's emotion. When somebody tells you, yes, I'm going to help you out. You're downtrodden. You're hurt. I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to get you that job. Maybe you don't know how to get them that job yet, but you're going to promise it, and you're going to do it, and you're going to win off of that. And so no matter what, whether you're trying to do a job interview, whether you're trying to find a spouse, whatever you're trying to do, appeal to emotions. Emotion will be the number one thing. It's way over logic. People don't think about logic. They think on emotion. Number 3, when you appeal to the emotion, this is where it benefits you. Facts don't matter. Not saying that if you present facts and then you don't deliver in the end, you'll still get whatever you want. No, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that facts don't necessarily matter in this situation. Once you realize that people are emotional, they can say, yeah, that may not work out, but you know what? I'm going to give that person a try. Why? Because you're appealing to somebody's emotions. Number 4, when facts don't matter, you can never be wrong. You can't debate no facts. And so if people don't have facts and they don't care about facts and they care about emotion, you can't be wrong. So all you got to do is work on the person, right? Be a people person. Know social cues. all those types of things. Last, number 5, warp reality until you achieve your goal. So do whatever you need to do to make it to that end goal. Say whatever you need to do to actually get you to that end goal, but you have to achieve your end goal. That's the end. That's the end thing. So warp your reality. So in that example, President Obama said, what is he going to do? Just pick up the phone and call? And then what does Trump do? He says, yes, I am. I'm going to pick them up. I'm going to call them. I'm going to tell them X, Y, and Z, and he's going to do whatever he needs to get done, whether it's putting a tariff on stuff, and then people come back and say, well, if you're going to tax it, but you're going off of logic. People don't care about logic. They don't care about that. They care about emotion. The average person doesn't care about what the tax policy is for the billion-dollar company. They care about their job, their future, their kids. And so when we look at that warp reality until you achieve your goal, yeah, do it. I will do whatever I need to do to get it done. And you'll see that. If you see that movie Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith, he showed that completely. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I won't have a shirt on my back. I'll live in a bathroom at the San Francisco BART station, but I will get it done. You warp reality until something gets done. And then lastly, master that identity politics. Everybody identifies as something. Right? Everybody identifies as something, whether it's male, female, college educated, athletic, artsy, whatever it is, identify with that person. If you can master that identification and understand who that person is and really hit your target market, and that's all marketing is. You're trying to find the identity of that product. Who's going to buy that product? Which region of the country is going to buy it? Is it a global product? Is it a regional product? Whatever it is, you're mastering the identity of it. Same thing with persuasion, same thing with branding. So make sure you go out there and persuade that, brand that for you. But in the end, deliver, or you look like a snake oil salesman. Meaning this, you have to deliver. If you don't deliver, if you overpromise, then you look like a fraud, right? If you go into a job and say, oh, I will do everything in the world for you, but then you don't do anything, you look like a fraud. You have to achieve stuff. You have to get those goals. If you don't achieve those goals, nobody will take you seriously. You're like the boy who cried wolf. Oh, there's a wolf coming. There's a wolf coming. No, there's not a wolf. There's a wolf coming. Eventually, nobody believes you anymore. That's why it's a tale. People need to get results. You need to get results. So if you could apply those persuasion techniques, if you could apply those things for branding, personal branding for yourself, always do it. People like optimism rather than pessimism. Go with that positive message. You don't have to tear the other person down to build yourself up. Make yourself look better. Appeal to people's emotions. When you start appealing to emotions, they'll start listening to you. When they start listening to you, you have their trust. When you have their trust, facts really don't matter at that situation, just as long as you're promising. But if you don't deliver the goods, if you don't promise, if you do promise and you don't achieve those goals, it will backfire on you. It will. So with that, hope this was a good little Fun Fact Friday for you on branding, persuasion, and how it relates to that jobs report. Because now, kind of wrapping things up, now we look at it and say, oh my gosh, he said he was going to get Carrier. What did he do? He picked up the phone and Carrier's staying in Indiana. He did achieve those goals, right? On the other side, it looks dumb now. It's going, wait, you said he couldn't do that. You said the economy could never bounce back, that there were jobs out there that will never be coming back. Yet we have labor statistics that say otherwise. But those labor statistics are also being used in the last administration, and the new administration criticized it. So again, facts don't matter. It's all about emotion. Appeal to emotions, and you'll get wherever you need to go in life. Thank you so much. It's 12:23 right now, so it's about 10 minutes in. So other than that, have a great day, have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Have a great Fun Fact Friday.